Welcome to NEXTGames video on how to solo the new high-tier mission Battlefield Odin on very easy. They put the entrance to this one in an unusual place, and the entry and exit procedure is different than usual. After you buy the key item for 10 merits, you go to Salbinia and go up these stairs until you see the vertical conflux. When you click on it, first select Walk of Echoes, and then go down to the very easy difficulty. Caution: on the easy difficulty, Odin has perpetual dread spikes that drain for over 1000 damage per hit. Unless you have a way to quickly dispel it or otherwise deal with it, soloing easy won't be possible. When you see the battle commences in your log, you can then click on the conflux and enter the battlefield. Before we start, let's talk about what you will see from Odin on the very easy difficulty. So here's a list of the things you should expect during this fight. First off, I want to point out that Odin has very low accuracy. You should take little to no damage this entire fight if done correctly, and it should have no issues whatsoever keeping your shadows up. The first ability we'll talk about is Ygr. This is a strong intimidation effect. It will activate about 80% of the time from what I can tell. So since he has very low accuracy and you're going to be intimidated, very often after he uses this, you're all just going to kind of stare at each other for 30 seconds as you're being intimidated and he's missing his swings. The next move is called Ofnir. This is a very low damage AoE move that will completely ignore shadows. And when I say low damage, I mean about 80 damage, so really a very low damage ability. I'm told that this at times can inflict defense and magic defense down, but in my 10 runs that I did worth of test, I never once saw that, so I either was resisting or it's just not a part of Odin Prime. The next ability is Valfodder. This is an AoE ability that normally has no effect. In the 10 runs that I saw it used on me, probably about 100 times, only once did it actually inflict anything, and that was Curse. I am also told that it can occasionally inflict silence, but again, I did not see that during my 10 runs. The next move is Gagnarth. This is a conal damage move, absorbed by 2 shadows. I read that this will terrorize you if it lands, but since it's so easy to keep shadows up, it never actually did land on me. I will say it is conal, so you want to make sure that Odin is attacking you away from your trust and not towards your trust. So these next 3 abilities are really the ones you have to pay attention to for this fight. The first one is Gurithur. This is a 1,000 needles or 10,000 needles type move, where it'll inflict anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 damage to everyone within 20 feet, depending on how many people are there. So usually it'll only do about 1,000 damage to everyone in range if you have a full party of trust, and up to 5,000 damage if it's just you. It will completely ignore shadows, but you can also use Migiwari to make sure that the damage from this is completely negated. So the key to this fight is just to keep up Migiwari the entire time. Unlike Odin in Enherjar, Odin Prime can use this move anytime. I've seen it used anywhere from 98% all the way down to 10%. So you definitely want to be ready for this move at all times. Sangtal, I've also seen him use at all times, and it is supposed to fully dispel all food and buffs of everyone in range. But every time I've seen him use it, which is a total of 6 times, I have not seen it have an effect on anyone once. So I don't know if we're all, again, just resisting, or whether it's just not quite working correctly on Odin Prime. The last ability, I've only seen him use at 50%, 42%, and 32%. So I believe this is an ability triggered at the 50% mark, and perhaps if he's used one of the above 2 abilities recently, he will delay using it, but I've seen him use this in every battle I've been in. It will instantly kill everyone within 20 feet, with the exception of yourself and Seth for some reason. Seth it always does about 700 damage to, and it always does about 100 damage to you, but for whatever reason, everyone else, it's an instant KO. Once he uses this, you're not going to have any healing for the rest of the fight other than Seth using rejuvenation. Now on the plus side, none of the above abilities really should be damaging you, so as long as you can keep up Migiwari, you just keep doing as much damage to him as you can, and Odin Prime is going to be no threat to you. So since Migiwari is the most critical part of this fight, we should discuss its recast time. Migiwari's recast time is 2 minutes, yet its duration only lasts a minute. So when I'm saying you need to keep it up for the full fight, there's obviously at least a minute gap there. Now normally when you have a full assembly of trust and are fully geared, and therefore you have haste on you and such, your recast time for Migiwari is actually under a minute, so there's no difficulty keeping it up. However, once Odin uses Gerither, your trusts are going to go away, and once things like haste wear off, your recast timer for Migiwari will be somewhere around a minute and a half. You need to get that back down closer to a minute, of course, in order to keep it up all the time. The way I recommend you do that is by using a Kujaku, which is an SU2 katana that you can get off the auction house. It has the additional effect of giving you haste, and therefore you can keep haste on you even though your trusts are dead, and this will reduce your Migiwari recast timer down to about a minute and 5 seconds. So there'll only be about a 5-second overlap for your recast timer, which of course is substantially better than the 30 seconds that it would leave you vulnerable. So I definitely recommend you do that if at all possible. Let's go ahead and see how one of these fights go. I'm using my usual set of Trust, Seth to continually restore HP, MP, and TP to the party. Also, Seth is going to keep us alive after the rest of the party is KO'd. Omiya to give us March, Korumoru for haste, Shantoto 2 to SC and MB with, and Uran keeps us alive and keeps all the enfeebles off of us. Let's enjoy the fight. the fight with Odin. Unusually in this battlefield, you do not automatically exit. You have to go into your inventory and use the temporary item that they've placed there. Not quite sure why they made that decision. And sadly, I have not seen a drop yet. In the 10 wins that I've gotten, I have yet to see any of these amazing drops that they've placed in this battlefield. I am going to be doing a lot more of these because I want actually several of these drops. So I will definitely post here over the coming weeks to let everyone know kind of what I've seen the drop rate as, and hopefully that these items will drop in the very easy difficulty, even if that drop rate is low. Everyone have a great week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy beating Odin.